Hi, welcome to CAD 116 Basic AutoCAD. I'm Joe Cerrone,
And I'm Al Rosen.
and we're going to go through today's video meeting for our class. As we're making this video, I may be letting some more people into the room. I just let one more student in. We will have these Zoom orientation meetings or Zoom video meetings every week on Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. And we'll go through the assignments for the class. We'll use the same link. And so this link will be the same link that you'll see next week. And you just need to put in your passcode to join it. Al, why don't you do the talking on this and you can walk me through it and we can talk about things like the student Autodesk.
Sounds fantastic. If you Autodesk software is a new setup for it, we have it set up in a couple different places how to get to it. If you click on HTTP, please, that automatically goes to the AutoCAD website. And what we need to do, or you need to do real simply, is to be able to log into here if you have not done so already. What you want to do is get the product on here. So there real quick, and you click on get product. It's going to come up over here and says get started for working on it. So if I click on get started, and you would have to make your own assignment login and whatever else. It's going to ask you for open one. If you open one into it, say next to it.
Right, they're going to want to see a .edu on your account. So when you create the account, since they're for students, I don't think they will approve you if you use a Gmail. Now you might be able to, but we recommend you use the oakton.edu account. And then you fill out this information and they will send you a confirmation. I'm going to sign in so you can see.
Please, thank you. And now when you have that, it's going to come up and show you some different things. And if you go down to where it says AutoCAD and it says get product, please, and there's a lot of different products in there you can grab if you want to. Now it says Windows and it has a little down arrow. You click on down arrow, okay, there's the Windows just to make sure. You go, it says 2021, which you can download, or to 2020, either way. 2020 we're using readily over at Oakton and also here. So you can do that if you want to. Joe and myself have 2021 and 2020. So you're ready for it. If you have a Mac, you can download AutoCAD also. The only difference is it will not look the same as we are going through the classwork. You can also defer to on the Mac and split the hard drive up and do that way. And then you have the best of both worlds. You would have Mac and you have the Windows products.
Right, we recommend using the Windows version because it looks different than the Mac version. If you're really proficient with computers and stuff, that's fine. But the videos in the school uses the Windows version, so we recommend partitioning it with the Windows OS on a Mac if you are going to use a Mac.
And also, where's the install? There's an arrowhead. If you don't want to install it at this time, you click on it, it will download, and you can click on download.
Right, and if you have any difficulty with getting the software installed, just email us. There's a link in the D2L right here. If we go up here to the top, you can just go ahead and email us and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can.
We just want to make sure you put in also your class. So your class is AutoCAD 116 OC1. Make sure you put that in there so we know which it is. With Joe, I have classes, separate classes this semester.
Right, we have a number of students taking courses and a lot of times we'll get emails. We just have to go back through and look at which class you're in. So please tell us which class you're in. All right, so that's the students.autodesk.com. That's where you get the software. If you're on a Chromebook, you can also VPN in, and we'll talk about that as we go through.
Right.
Here's the textbook. We click on this link. You can purchase the textbook or you can rent it. You can use either the 2020 or the 2018. They work just fine.
The only difference is one does not have bells and whistles as the 2021 or 2020. You do the same work, get the same answers, get the same curriculum.
Yeah, the rental is a little bit more reasonable, $37. That seems pretty good.
Yeah. And you can use it for both of our classes, the 116 and 117 classes.
When you're done with the assignments, we'll put those into the assignments folder and we'll go through that. Yeah, why don't you talk about getting started with AutoCAD at Oakton?
Okay. We also, Joe and I, look at this as, if the students can't learn one way we are teaching, then we must teach another way. So that's what we're doing with Windows and our videos, our hands-on style with the video style. Going over that. Access D2L, you should be able to access it by now. We have a link to that also, quick link. Okay. So it tells you how to get to it, how to download it, and what to do to it. And then you have our syllabus, Paul. And Joe, you want to go over the syllabus with me?
Sure. So welcome to CAD 116 OC1. We started teaching this class online in about 2007, as I recall. That's when we started. What made it possible was they made the student versions of the software free. And so it's been great. Before that, it was $250 for a student license. So we've been running the course for quite a while now. And if you want to get a hold of me or Al, use the email address at d2l.oakton.edu. You can call if you have a question, but it's best if you email. We usually find those first. There's no prerequisites for the course. A first course in drafting and design using AutoCAD. It's basically an introductory course for people that are interested in architectural and engineering type applications. And essentially we'll go through how to create architectural and engineering drawings, a number of different things like three-dimensional views, elevations, basically how to electronically draw things. Back in the day, we used to use pencils. Now we use the computer. Our learning objectives are basically to be able to use the computer with an emphasis on drafting of mechanical and architectural drawings. So we're very vocationally orientated in these CAD courses because there's a number of jobs that are out there for people with these skills. And we'll go through how to create the drawings, how to be able to plot the drawings, what are elevations in three-dimensional drawing views, and how to use the computer to analyze and solve problems. And so, for example, with the social distancing, we can take a floor plan and say, here's how many people we can fit in that room according to these standards by the CDC. Academic integrity, take a look at the Oakton's Code of Conduct. Every once in a while, something like this will pop up, but Oakton is really a pretty, very student-centered place. You just want to be aware of how these things work. You can go through and click on this link for the handbook. We have an outline of topics that we have on a separate page that we'll click on in a little bit. And our method of instruction is mostly online tutorials and readings from the books. What we're really finding is the video tutorials really are better than the book because they're more specific and it's kind of a visual media. So we do use all of the above. We use tutorials, textbook readings, and videos. Everybody has a different learning style. The course can be taught face-to-face, media-based, hybrid, online. So this is the online section. Students will need to complete the drawing labs in each module, and there will be a quiz that maps to the chapters in the textbook. And then you'll need to submit the drawings. We'll be using the AutoCAD Comprehensive book from Goodhart Wilcox, and our grading will be 50% drawing, 10% tests and quizzes, and 40% for testing at the final exam. And it's a straight 90, 80, 70, 60 grading scale. Try to turn in your assignments on time, or you can be assessed a late penalty. If you are late, put in an email and request an extension, and we're usually willing to go and do that. if you have a documented physical or psychological disability or any disability at all, we can help you get accommodation services. And Oakton is very good with that. And so if you have any needs like that, you can find those here. Okay, so that's the syllabus. Returning back to the main splash page. Sequence of topics. All right, we'll have to update this a little bit, Al. It looks like we've got the 22nd and today's the 24th, so we'll update this. We're a couple days off on it.
Yeah, my bad.
We'll get it. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 in Module 1 is where we're starting today. And then next week we'll go through 3 and 4. We start with getting started, how to look at the interface and how AutoCAD works. Drawing and editing, object commands, we just introduce commands like how to draw lines, arcs, and circles, and we just continue to add to our task list as we go through the course. And so we'll go through drawing and editing, line standards and layers, tools and plotting, object snaps, construction tools, arranging and patterning, dimensioning, utility commands like calculating out area and distances, section views and hatch patterns. Thanksgiving break is the week of November 24th. Drawing sections and views. Final exam is December 15th. And the last day to turn in assignments is December 18th. And usually we back this up a little bit. I think we may revise this to a little bit earlier because students will be able to take the final exam in the testing center. So typically we have this on the 8th, and so we may make that available a little bit earlier. But you do want to have a good understanding of the dates and when things are due. And so that's our outline of topics.
And here's how to install the software again. Like we said, we have it a couple different places. So if you can't find it in one place, you will be able to find it someplace else. As Joe was talking about the VPN, we have it set right over there. It's Chromebook, Macintosh, and also Windows. So if you cannot download or you don't have a computer that will not download software, it automatically shows you step by step.
And this works quite well. I've been using the VPN to VPN into the college, as long as you have a good internet connection. But it does take some horsepower to run AutoCAD. We really think the best way to do it is to download the student version.
Right.
All right, so that's the syllabus and the sequence of topics and how to get the software set up and running. And we do want to emphasize, if you do have issues or you do have some problems with that, send us an email and we'll help you get that started. Just hit on this little email and say, help, I need help getting my AutoCAD going. All right, let's talk about the assignments.
Well, before you go there, please, Joe, go up a little bit. On here, you move your drop your paper over a little bit, Joe. Slightly over.
It doesn't do that, Al. I think it's best to just continue with the video because I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay. We got B-size paper that we use to do the drawings that we'll show you later on.
It's actually A size, but that's okay. 8.5 by 11 is A, B would be 11 by 17. And so we have these title blocks. The assignments that we're gonna do in Module 1, Al has laid out right here. And so we'll map things to the textbook. And so this is our textbook. It's the Introduction to AutoCAD. We have a digital copy of it here. And the first chapter goes through just some basic learning objectives like what is computer-aided design, describe applications, etc. And we've been doing these classes for quite a while, and so we put some of our own content in there as well. And so as we look at this, we map it to the textbook. So you're to read the textbook assignment. And then here's our basic CAD assignments. And we developed these over the years. If you click on this link right here, this is what the first assignment looks like. it's kind of mapped to the network drive. So if you're in school, you can go ahead and open that. But we have everything in the main splash page. And so what we'll be doing is these we call them general design projects. They're just draw with line on grid paper. And it gets you used to using CAD. And so we have these 5 assignments that make up our first module. So here's the second one.
And Joe, do you want to explain that the grid, like grid paper, they can count them, and that's how you get the measurements?
Right. So these are the assignments. And if you've got a dual monitor, what we recommend you do is you put the assignments on one monitor. And then the title block is right over here. And so click on that and you can open that. And if you have AutoCAD installed, it'll launch right into it. And so here is your basic CAD assignment. If I take a look at the assignments that I downloaded, here we are. What we're going to do is we're going to just draw these basic shapes up. And we have gone through and created a video for that. As we go through, we just want to keep this to an orientation level, but what we want to do is we want to go to the line command, and then as we draw the line, we're going to need to enable grid and snap on these, Al, so when we have them downloaded. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go here, excuse me. We're going to go to turn on our menu bar. I'm going to turn off the menu bar. I'm going to turn it back on, show menu bar. And the videos will show that, so I may be just kind of going through too much detail, but drafting settings, be sure the snap and the grid are on. And by having the snap on, then when I go and I move the mouse over, now you can see it snaps to the squares. And so you'll start off by drawing these lines.
And we know it might not be perfect, that's okay. What we're trying to get you across is how to use the mouse, line command, how to use the grid, the snap command, so it's easier for you to understand and work it step by step.
Correct. Make sure that you fill out the title block. You know, put your student name and the other information here. Make sure you have the correct date on it as well, because it's an important aspect.
And all you have to do is double click on it. If you zoom up a little bit, Joe, on one of those, and double click on one of those, and then you hover over it, just like a Microsoft document. Type your first name or last name, either way you want to do it. And when you get done, say check the checkbox, and it automatically updates it right there.
So the first exercise is given to you in this video. And so there is a video tutorial on how to do the exercise. Maybe you can point me to that, Al?
Down below, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Right there. Up, 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 up. Right there. And that goes through it, and it goes a little further as we're talking the same way. And if you slide across a little bit to the right-hand side, a little bit more.
This is our Skokie campus. We actually modeled the room, so you can virtually attend our virtual classroom. You even put phones on the desks. Back when before they had cell phones. So this is a demonstration of the assignment and how to do it. And so I'll go through the plates and I map it to the textbook so that we can talk a little bit about it. You don't have to watch the videos, but the videos are really kind of quite helpful. But I think there's a more specific video, Al, in here on how to do.
Should we on the contents, please?
So under the content tab, the course is organized by these modules. And so let's make sure that's visible. There we go. And in the module 1, we have our learning objectives and we have our assignments. This link goes to the AutoCAD website. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here's the PowerPoint for chapter 1. Here's the video interface. These are those 5 plate drawings. And here's the instructions. This is the video I was looking for. And so we go through, you can see it's kind of picking up in the middle, but if I back it up, this one kind of cuts right to it. So if you're one of those people who just wants to get to the assignments and do the work, like myself very often, here it is. And so we have this multi-page document that's kind of like an Excel spreadsheet where you can add these drawings. And this is the first assignment. And so students are to complete the 5 plate drawings. You'll save those, and then you'll place those into the assignments folder. And the assignments folder is located right here. The first set of assignments are due October 1st by 11 p.m. All right. So that explains how to do the assignments with the video. We've gone through the syllabus. We've gone through the outline of topics and the labs. There's some student files. If you want to do extra credit, we'll mark these as extra credit.
Module 1.
Sorry about that.
Joe Cerrone.
I don't know what's going on, but
Sometimes YouTube starts playing in the background. That's what's going on. Anyway, back to the main splash page. And we're just covering the assignments. Those are our assignments. This is the chapter video, learning objectives, textbook. And then these are the 5 assignments that we'll complete. And then in the content section, every week we'll release another module that'll give you the instructions on how to do the exercises. All right, with that said, the only thing left to talk about, I think, is the quizzes, right, Al?
yes, sir.
So let's look at this as a student.
Please.
We can go and look at the assignments. It looks different from when I do it. So that's the content. And then if we go to the assignments, you'll see module 1, and there's a rubric that'll tell you how you're going to be graded. And Al's our D2L guy. He does most of the grading, exceeds the standards, meets the standards, does not meet, and the things that we'll grade for will be there. So we'll go through and we'll grade your assignments, and then we'll give you feedback on that. Quizzes and exams. And I guess on the assignments, when you submit them, you also have the ability to put a note in there. And so if you have some difficulty with it, you could say, look at plate 3, I could not do this. And so you can put in instructions in there, and Al and I will be able to get feedback and help you with that online.
You just say, don't grade it, please help. That's all.
Okay, so that's the assignments. Be aware of when they're due, or you'll be assessed a late fee. Quizzes and exams, we have test 1 available. And it's basically just questions about CAD and the terminology. You're welcome to use the AutoCAD program to kind of troubleshoot the questions. So for example, if it asks you a question about the circle command, you can go and look at the circle command and say, oh, there's center diameter, there's center radius. They might ask you how many different ways are there to draw a circle, etc. And then as you use CAD, if you hover over the commands, it goes into these help screens. So really a lot of it is very interactive now with the software. And we encourage that. When you get on the job, you don't want to be opening up a book and going through it all the time. You can usually find the answers right there in the software itself with the help screens.
And also you can use a book if you want, however you like to do it.
All right, let's go back to the main splash page. So that's the content, assignments, and quizzes. Your grades will be posted, and so we have a grading area which we'll post, and it'll tell you how you did on that. And every time you sign in and do the assignments, your grades will be updated. And that's about it. Those are the features that we're using in this course management software. Okay, so kind of as a recap, we'll post the announcements in the main splash page. So every week, take a look in your D2L and you'll see the announcements coming from Al and I with the instructions on how to do the assignments. This week, it's basic general how to get started, how to download the software, where the textbooks are located and where you can buy them from. And then we give you the assignments and what we want you to do and the video lectures and the videos on how to do the assignments. With that, Al, I'm going to turn it back to you for anything else that we might want to cover before we stop this recording.
I don't think so, but on here, your assignment over here says show how to draw the assignment on Mod 1. There it is. It should be there. Click on that, please, Joe, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That should be linked, and that should, hopefully, there it is. That's your drawing.
Yeah, you're the best, Al. You've got everything right there. So I think we're all set. It's just a matter of learning how to navigate the course. So we look forward to working with you online, and feel free to contact us by email or by Zoom or any other media that you feel you need, you have access to. And go ahead, Bill.
Okay. If you have any questions, let us know.
All right. So we look forward to working with you online, and I'm going to end this video now. Thanks, and have a good day.